All right, just a quick update here on the Beach Park hazardous materials situation. A unified command post was established initially right off the bat when this incident occurred, and that consists of Fire Command, Law Enforcement Command working together to try to rectify this situation. As stated earlier, the number one priority in this situation was getting the chemical spill and the plumes of toxic gas that were in the air under control. That's first and foremost. That comes before any investigation that we launch. The investigation, which is subsequent to the initial response, we're going to work to determine what was this tractor doing on the road, where were they traveling to, ensure that any laws that are applicable to agricultural and traffic were being followed and adhered to. So those are all things that we will look into. Many questions have come in. Was this a crash? Was this not a crash? The information we have at this point is it was not a crash. The information that we have is that as the tractor, which was pulling these trailers containing the anhydrous ammonia, the trailers and the containers holding the chemical leaked. And this leak caused these plumes of toxic gas to be released into the air. So the information at this point is that it was not a crash. It was a leak from the containers that were being trailered by the tractor. We will look into that. There are some questions about a vehicle that had run off the road and maybe hit a sign. We're looking into that as well. We're working to determine, was this a driver that was overcome by the fumes? As I had mentioned earlier, the initial responding sheriff's deputies were overpowered by the fumes. There were individuals, it was reported, that were on the ground when the initial deputies responded. They were subsequently rescued by fire personnel that were wearing protective equipment. Right now, what sheriff's deputies and fire personnel are doing is they're going door to door, knocking on doors, trying to make contact with those in the immediately affected area to find out, are the occupants inside those homes, are they okay? Were they affected by the gas? We want to be sure if somebody was sleeping with the windows open last night that they're safe, because this is a silent gas, so to speak. People can inhale this and not know and become quickly unconscious. So we're checking on their well-being. Chief Gallo is going to explain some of the transports to the hospital. There were 2 sheriff's deputies transported to the hospital. They're in stable condition. A Zion police officer was also transported to the hospital. My understanding is he's in stable condition as well. Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
And yeah, just reiterating that we're not getting any reports of an accident. It looked like these tanks leaked because of a failure of the tank itself. As of right now, we have gone to our life safety box. We exhausted, we're in Division 4, so we went to the 5th alarm, which is the most. We got ambulances here. We actually went interdivisional to Division 3, which is in Cook County. You'll see some of their ambulances here. So we're working with about 25 ambulances shuttling people through. As you see the ambulances come back, they've dropped off a patient at the hospital, and then they've come back to the scene, and they report back to staging. Most recent numbers, we're at about 32 patients that have been transported. The command post, or dispatch actually, is continuing to receive 911 calls. So they are handling those as normal. It's just it's a little bit easier because we've got 25 ambulances on standby ready to go. Hospitals, I think I talked to some of you about it. St. Catherine's with a C up in Pleasant Prairie, Lake Forest Hospital, Vista East, and Condell Medical Center in Libertyville are the 4 receiving at this time. So,
the additional transports, is that a result of the welfare checks?
I'm not sure if those are people that are feeling ill calling 911 or if it is people knocking on doors, probably a combination of both of those, but they're starting from the innermost houses, kind of working out just to try to establish that people are accounted for and that the houses have been checked.
Can you kind of go in here?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The
leak is stopped. The issue is the plume of gas now. I mean, the liquid leaks are solid. Those are a little bit easier to contain and dike off. This is harder, something that's airborne. So they're kind of monitoring it. Our hazardous material technicians are in there. They're dressed with much more appropriate gear than just even fire turnout gear. They've got monitors. They're checking air quality. They're getting into homes, checking the same thing. So let me jump back to you. Okay. I would say at least some of these, we get everybody out here, which is great, and then we want to mitigate, we want to take care of any life safety issue, and then there really isn't a huge rush necessarily. We don't want to just rush people in just to open up the roads. We want to take our time, make sure we're monitoring air quality, but I'd say, at least several more hours. For now, I think there's kind of reviewing that, but we'll let you know if anything changes. So for now, same thing, shelter in place, close windows, shut down heating and ventilation, any kind of that. And call 911 if you're feeling, again, it's an inhalation issue, so it would be breathing trouble. Call 911 if you need any kind of medical assistance. Yeah, I think they range from serious but stable condition down to probably just checkup. So that's the worst of the transports.
As far as the shelter in place, the latest information we have on that is it's looking to be lifted within the next hour here. So as soon as the shelter in place does get lifted, we will push that information out on social media to the residents. We'll also inform all of you folks so you can push it out as well. We'll come back and update as any information becomes available, and thank you again.